Hi, my name is Solo P1 and this is episode 16 of the Flaming Tarmac. I know I haven't done one in a couple of months. Been busy with F1. We've got a triple header coming up this weekend. Well, it's the second of a triple header. First race was in France last week, and now we're in Austria. We're doing a double Austria. This one is titled Styrian, and next week's going to be Austria, whatever. It's a triple header. But what's been going on in the news lately? The one what stood out for me, should be obvious by now because his picture's in the middle of my screen, is Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas. He's coming out and he's defending what he said in Austria. No, what he said in France. Now, I'm on Bottas' side on this one. It doesn't matter what people say. People are going to say, oh, he shouldn't do that. It's because of his team. I do not give a crap what anybody says. Valtteri Bottas has been the wingman for Lewis Hamilton for over 4 years. Over 4 years. He supported him. He's even moved over for him. He's done what he needs to be done to be the second driver. So we agreed on that one. If you don't agree, turn the video off and go home, because this video is not for you. Very simple. Valtteri Bottas has been the wingman for Lewis Hamilton. It doesn't matter what people say. You got Ralf Schumacher in the press coming out and saying he shouldn't have said that. Why not? Why not? Why shouldn't he have said it? So everything he said is not true. Him and Lewis said to them in the briefing that it should be a two-stop strategy. And then they don't end up doing it. And they end up losing the race because of it. So where is he wrong? The guy's frustrated. The guy wants to win a couple of races. He obviously wants to win a championship. But with Lewis Hamilton as a teammate, it's become a little bit difficult. But we all know that the team favours Lewis. That's just the way it is. But Lewis has deserved that status. But they still should throw a bone to Bottas now and again. All the faults this year has not been Bottas' fault. Pit strategy, Monaco, weren't Bottas' fault. They screwed him in Spain. Wasn't Bottas' fault in the pits, and he was in front and he had to come out. He come out of the pit and then he was behind Max Verstappen. There was that 4 or 5 seconds delay in the pits. What more can this guy go through? Week in and week out. And what's happened is like a kettle. You boil a kettle of water, you put it in the kettle, you boil it, what happens? The water wants to boil and boil, and eventually, if you don't take it off the cooker, the water comes out. It explodes like a volcano. That's what Bottas is going through now. You're going to get people coming on. There's people on there on the internet saying, no, he shouldn't have done it. Celebrities from the F1 world said he shouldn't have done it. I think he should have done it. And I'm surprised he didn't do it a couple of years ago. To be fair. He's been there. He's helped. Look, it takes 2 people to win a constructor, you know. Not one driver can win a constructor for a team. Not one driver. And Bottas has been consistent there, 1 and 2, for years. For years. Alright, now and again you hear him swear, say, for who this may concern. And now and again he'll put a word out there and start swearing. That's just Bottas. But it's rare. He's always been the cool head of Mercedes. He's always been there to support Lewis. But he's thinking to himself, if you ain't going to give me a fucking contract, why should I support Lewis? If you're not going to give me a championship, why am I not going to support Lewis? And that's why Bottas is like that now. And it's understandable. It's understandable. Bottas is finished in his head. He's thinking to himself, he's got his contract. They're probably not going to renew his contract. That's probably what he's thinking. I still think it's up for grabs. It's not a done deal yet that George Russell's going to be in that car. It's not a done deal. No. Far from done. Lewis Hamilton's contract is basically in the bag. They was talking about that today on the F1 show. Saying that Lewis is talking about his contract. Matter of time before he signs that contract. It'll be done before the summer. Lewis already said he wants that contract done before the summer. And then you got the media saying to George Russell, have you heard anything from Mercedes? Listen, geeks on Sky Sports F1. If Russell knew anything, he wouldn't tell you. Would he? I know you're going to ask the questions, but come on. You know what is the point of asking the question if you know what answer you're going to get? Just doesn't make sense. You better off just asking them and say, what did you have for your breakfast today, George? What did you have to drink today, George? Did you go out drinking the Austrian beer, George? Are you planning on going out this weekend on a Sunday night? Going to Austria, drink a couple of beers, have some of them Austrian sausages, George? You better off asking that question because you ain't going to get nothing else out of him. There's no way George Russell's going to tell you anything about a contract. Never going to happen. But listen, back to Bottas. Bottas should be respected more in the team. He should be respected. I'm behind Bottas. I'm behind the Mercedes team. But I am behind Bottas. I want Bottas to do well. George Russell might be in the car next season. We don't know. But look, Lewis, I guarantee Lewis's contract. 100% Lewis's contract. He has got veto on who joins him in the team. Just like Max Verstappen has with Perez. Now they're saying that in Perez's contract that he's not allowed to challenge Max Verstappen. That's standard. When you got your main driver, you don't want to get no, resistance from the second driver. But Bottas has been there since 2017. What more can this guy go through? What more? How many times, week in, week out, does he have to prove himself to Mercedes? Listen, Lewis, you've got 7 world titles. I just want 1. Just 1. You got 7. I want 1, motherfucker. Very simple. Mercedes, 8-time world champion. Lewis, 7-time world champion. What's Bottas got? What has Bottas got to show for himself? Runner-up trophy, 3rd on the grid. He don't give it. If you ask Bottas, all them podiums that you've ever had, will you trade it in for 1 world title? You know what the answer's going to be. Give the man some slack. Enough is enough. And I defend Bottas for what he said in France. He told them, very simple. Very simple. He says, 2-stop strategy. I told you guys to do a fucking 2-stop strategy. Fucking hell. That's exactly what Bottas has said. I told you for us to pit. He said it halfway through the race. He said it the night before. He told them over the weekend. Only the driver knows, by the way. You can have all your engineers, all your geeks in Brackley on the computers. All the geeks on the computers, drinking coffee, not sleeping for 48 hours, dedicated to the craft. But at the end of the day, the driver knows. The driver knows. Very simple. Are the engineers in the car? No. Let's face it. The strategy hasn't been good this season, has it? Not really. The Mercedes strategy team is not been like it's been like the Ferrari strategy team. In 2018 and 19, they should be pushing trolleys at Tesco. There should be that strategy team of Mercedes should be washing cars. That's all they're good for, because that strategy team has been pathetic. And the pit team, I'm not even going to get onto the pit team. They should all be fired. The Mercedes pit team should be fired. Toto can come out as much as he wants. And he can crack little jokes all he wants with Christian Horner. But who's winning the constructors at the moment, Toto? Not you. Who's in front of the Drivers' Championship? Not you. So it's all like cracking the jokes. It's all like cracking the jokes. Yeah, but you're not winning, are you? Exactly. So give Bottas some slack. Give him some confidence. Buy him a fucking Austrian beer. That'll help him. He needs something. Because you shouldn't be treating Bottas like this. They shouldn't be treating Valtteri Bottas like this. He should be an equal driver to Lewis Hamilton. He's been there long enough. Like I said before, it's not like Perez, and Perez just walked into the team and he's been there, what, 4 or 5 months. Bottas has been there since 2017. So give the man some respect. And do I think he's going to get another contract? I don't know. But I think at the end of the day, Lewis is going to veto on that. That's why he wants his contract done now. He gets his contract out the way, done. And he can say if he wants Bottas to stay in that. If he says he don't want Bottas to stay, Bottas is gone. Because they've got to keep Lewis happy. And that's just the way it is. He's earned that. He's earned that. And that's the way Formula 1 goes. It's not just Mercedes. So all you come out and say, oh, it's Lewis. Go suck my fucking black balls. It's nothing to do with Lewis. That's just the way Formula 1 was. It was the same with Schumacher and Barrichello. Exactly the same. It's been the same with all the drivers what's come along in F1. You get the main driver winning the championship. The other guy comes along. He has to stay in line and mind his role, watch his role, whatever they call it. Shut your mouth and get in line. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But Bottas has been there long enough. And I should give him more respect. Well, like I said, what more can this man go through? He was like a kettle and it finally popped. It finally boiled like a volcano. It was lurking in there and it finally built up to the top. Just thought when you leave a kettle on, you don't take the kettle off. Them old school kettles, the ones that got a whistle on. Eventually it's going to whistle, but eventually the water's going to shoot up. And that's what happened with Bottas. And you know what? The thing I like about Bottas today, he had his press conference today. The thing I like about Bottas, yeah, he defended what he said. He didn't go back on himself like most of the drivers do, like little wankers. He said, basically, I defend what I said. Everything I said last week in France, I stand by it. And I respect Bottas for that. Because 90% of the paddock would be all wankers, bottle jobs, and go back what they said and say, look, I've had time to think about it, and now I understand that they're right. But Bottas didn't give a crap. He come out and he said, you know what? I stand by what I said, and I respect him for that. I respect him. And that's it, man. That's episode 16 of the Flaming Tarmac. I just needed to get that out. And I hope Bottas does well this season. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This is Solo P1 signing out of episode 16 of the Flaming Tarmac. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
So Perez is in. Try to avoid fast spots at 3. But we think managing more 11. You can close the gap even strat 7, thank you.
I'm thinking of plan B.
Copy, so Perez 15 seconds behind his pace at 37.2. Verstappen 37.6. Chassis dash set position 2.
There's some graining on the front left.
Copy that, we are looking.
The front left tire is just falling apart, up and up.
Verstappen is in. So Verstappen dropped behind Perez. Perez still 12 seconds behind, 37.8. So suggesting strat 11, saving tyres 10. So Lewis a 38.4, you're a tenth quicker. You're closing the gap to Lewis, traffic connects you with Raikkonen. Suggesting strat 11 to look after the tyres. Please update your tyre switch. Lewis 38.5. So Lewis 1.3 ahead. You got 16 laps to go. Verstappen is 8 seconds behind. And Valtteri +1 if you're stopping again.
Yep.
Verstappen at 7 seconds, 36.8. Please update your tyre switch, Leclerc 1.5. You got 13 laps to go. You lost only 4/10 to Verstappen this lap. Chassis dash set position 5. So last 4 laps will be very difficult. So Verstappen 8 lap all medium now.
Yeah, I have no fronts anymore, so it is difficult.
You think you can bring it? I think be about more rearwards. So Verstappen 2 seconds, and Perez predicted to catch it in the last 4 laps. So Verstappen in 1 second, he's got DRS. So gap still 1 second, doing a good job. You can see Verstappen starting to struggle with his tyres. Gap 0.6 from Valtteri, bring it. Perez at 3.6, his pace at 37.1. Just predicted to catch us with 5 laps to go.
Why the fuck no one listened to me when I said it's gonna be a 2-stopper? Fucking hell.
Okay, Perez is on a 1. So Perez at 1.9.
My tires are fucking finished. It's like... Yeah.
Copy, we understand. So Perez 0.7, he will have DRS. So gap 1.1, you can do this. And Perez has got DRS 0.9 behind. Gap 0.7. And let us know if Perez got you passing out to the track.
Yeah, to make that corner flat, he had to go off.
Valtteri, you're going to look into it. So stay within 5 seconds of Perez. Perez under investigation. Current gap 2 seconds. Everything you can do. You're nearly a 5.
I'm trying.
Final up. Okay, so Valtteri, that's before the road. Verstappen won it, passing Lewis with 2 laps to go. Gap to Perez 5.8. Apologies about that.